Hello, hello. We are back. Back for the extended version of the show right here on YouTube. And if you didn't catch the first half, just click on the link in the description, and that is going to take you to the recording of Wednesday's live show, which is hosted on Bold Brave TV as a live show. So please note if you don't see the recording, it just hasn't been uploaded yet by the production team, but they are usually great at getting up that recording pretty fast. On today's show, it's my birthday special because yours truly is having a birthday this week. And I shared with you 5 lessons that I've learned for living a delicious life. And I promised you 3 more. So here we go. Number 6, your health is your wealth. And without it, the ride is not as enjoyable. So get out and move your body because our bodies were made to move. Most people that have aches and pains, it's likely because they don't actually move enough, they don't stretch enough. I have an ex mother in law who is going on 93 years old. She is sharp as a tack. She still walks 3 miles a day and she's in great shape. I personally aspire to be someone who can still enjoy hiking mountains in her 80s and 90s. And I hope you'll join me. Number 7 is not my original quote, but it still applies to my life. And that is that life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. Life and humaning, they are full of ups and downs and disappointments and triumphs and anxiety and happiness, relationships and situationships, the full range of emotions. I believe that this is literally what life is, and it's what we all experience. So the sooner we can learn the lesson, the greater that enjoyment, the greater the contentment can come from how we're responding and not what's actually happening. And if you can see how life is happening for you, then the sooner it is that you'll be back in flow instead of feeling like you're underwater or fighting the current. Bad shit, it happens. But you know what? Good shit happens too. And it's okay to swallow a little water. Just don't drown in it. That also means that it's okay to be in a place of discomfort or challenge, but really learning to pick yourself up and dust yourself off and keep going. And that's really it. It's just learning to keep going. Also, for those of you that might be in a place where you're like, Mary, I can't pick myself up sometimes, find some friends, find people who care about you who will help pick you back up. And finally, number 8, it's do hard things, do scary things, do those things that seem thrilling, do the things that make your heart race a little bit. Because most of what we fear in life can become the thing that we overcome if we simply find the courage to do so. Um, Maybe it's a conversation, a hard conversation that you need to have with someone in your life. Maybe it's a job you need to leave so that you can start that business you've been dreaming about. Maybe it's just turning off all the lights and being able to sleep in the dark in peace. When I was a kid, I was afraid of Dracula. I chalk that up to late nights in front of the TV, free to watch whatever I wanted because my mom worked 2 jobs. And for a good span of time, I was home alone during those hours and I could literally watch whatever. And I used to have it in my head that at night, that's when Dracula was going to come visit me. And so if that was the case, I had a yellow plastic baseball bat next to my bed. Somehow that was going to protect me from Dracula. Don't ask me how. In my childhood mind, that was going to work. Each night comes, each night goes, and Dracula, he never shows up. And one day I am with a friend of mine. It's getting really late in the evening, and she lived like a block down the street. And as we get to her house, she is staring at the garage like it has 5 heads. And I can't figure out what's up. And she's terrified of the dark. And it's dark because normally she'd come home when there's a little bit of light out, which means light goes into the garage. She can walk straight through, find the light switch, turn it on, or just go through the door and get in the house. But she's really freezing in this moment. And I'm sorting out in my head that this is happening, but I've adjusted to the dark so much that I'm like, oh, I see what's up here. I got this. So I walk over to her garage door, roll it up, walk through that dark garage, find the light switch on the wall, and I flip on the light. And in that moment, I recognize that that was the moment that I was no longer a kid that was afraid of the dark. And it's so interesting to see how a little bit of courage can go a long way. Because the more times that I walked in the dark after that, the even easier it got for me to confirm to my brain that I was safe, even in the dark. Right? So it's the way we allow our system to operate. I was regulated enough to go, okay, the dark, nothing scary jumps out of corners. I can situate myself in the dark and still be safe. And so then it becomes something where it's not so scary anymore. I don't sleep with a plastic yellow bat under my bed anymore. Matter of fact, I love it really dark when I sleep. I want it pitch black. I want to not see anything. If I have to get up and use the restroom in the night, I'll do it in the dark. I'm not flipping on a light. And so, in the way that we can overcome some of these fears and trepidations, then the more we are really, really flexing that courage muscle. And think about the people in your life that are influenced by your ability to be brave. For many of you, it might be your children. You are their best example of how to live. So, are you showing them how to live out of fear, or are you showing them how to live out of courage? And the more often we practice having hard conversations, then the better we get at speaking authentically with people. The more often we practice asking for what we want, then the higher our chances are of getting what we want because we dared to ask in the first place. Now, the last thing I have for you on today's extended show is that I'm going to leave you with a fun fact. And today the fun fact will be about me because it's my birthday and my show. And the fun fact is that I love plants so much that I aspire to live in a glass house in the jungle. And it's a bonus if it's a tree house made of glass in the jungle. I hope that all of you, if you're not already connected with me on social, will please drop your questions, drop them into Facebook, drop them into Instagram or LinkedIn. Me or my team, we will make sure that those get gathered up and I'll answer those on the show if I don't get back to you in my DMs. I may also answer them in my stories. You can reach me on any of those platforms at the Mary D, and that's just the little at sign, the THE Mary MARYDEE. And stay tuned for more updates. I'll also be announcing my next retreat dates very soon. And I'm really, really excited about inviting you all to come and join me. And it's going to be a good time of connection, a good time of being able to walk away with some of the tools to live your most aligned and delicious life. And this life is not meant to be walked alone. And so come and find a tribe, find some beautiful people to connect with, and live an epic life. All right. We will see you back on Wednesday. Until then, I hope you have a beautiful week. Beautiful, beautiful week. And of course, may abundance always walk beside you. May joy always go before you. And may love always guide you on your path.